Hey, what's up? It's just Nick, WBLS. Really excited to have this special guest with me today. You've seen her everywhere in movies, on TV shows. She be singing, baby. We're talking about Sidora.
Yes.
Hi.
Hi.
You look amazing.
Well, thank you. I was coming to see you, girl.
I appreciate it. Welcome to New York. You know what I'm saying?
I love it here.
Chi-Town is in the building.
Chi-Town is in the building.
I have not been to Chi-Town. I know.
Ever?
Oh
my God,
I'm working on it though, because it don't make no sense.
You have to, because it's like an hour and a half flight. It's
not
like right here.
I'm working on it.
Wow.
I'm working on it.
You got to go in the summer, though, if you're going to go.
Okay.
Go in the summer.
And where do I need to go?
Taste of Chicago.
Everybody says that.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Taste of Chicago.
That's what.
Because you get a taste of the whole city. You know, everything we have to offer, which we have pretty amazing food, you'll get to taste and try there. And then there's live performances, musical performances, festivals. And it's just beautiful. Walk along, Lakeshore Drive, Lake Michigan. It's just a vibe.
I love it. I already know what to do. Boom. Appreciate it.
Got you.
Appreciate it. All right, cool. And I'll let you know where you need to go. But you come here a lot, right?
I do, but New York has so much. It's like just when you think you know, it's more.
Yes.
And it's always building, evolving.
What's your favorite thing to do when you come here? Or do you get time?
I'm from Chicago. I'm a foodie, so I'm
time.
I've been planning dinner all night. I'm like, okay, let me narrow down the spots. I'm on my, you know what I'm saying, my search, because I've been seeing these viral pancakes.
Yes.
Where are they? I need to find them.
It be in like the hole in the walls. A lot of the places are just really small.
Yeah.
But yeah. We're going to give you a list before you go, okay? Because she's ready to eat you all.
Always.
Nah, but first off, congratulations to you on all your success.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to just let everybody know, for those who might not be familiar, you've been in this game for a minute. Do you still remember some of your early performances, like That's So Raven?
Oh my
gosh. Even before that, you was like the youngest actress on. Do you remember?
I know, what you about to say? I know. What's this accolade? Wait, I was the youngest where?
It was a show that you did. Dang, I can't even quote it now.
I'm like, wait. The first.
We're going to come back to that.
Accolades. I need you too. But no, I've been working since age 8. And so that's when I started. So sometimes I do have to reminisce because I'm just going. And I have so many goals in sight for me that sometimes I do have to reflect over the journey and just be very grateful and thankful to God because, this industry is very competitive. Nothing is guaranteed or promised. So when I reflect, I'm like, dang, I've been able to do and accomplish some amazing things. And I'm just super always humbled and appreciative for every opportunity.
Then you're still here.
Right?
Doing your thing.
Yeah.
Good kudos to you.
Thank you.
Because this industry will break people.
Oh my God.
And has, but you still are here, staying grounded. And you, well, of course, T-Boz, if y'all remember the TLC story and everything, doing your thing on that, which was perfect. So, and now you're doing reality TV. How is that for you? Because that's completely different from film, right?
Very.
Yeah.
So as an actress, it was like, okay, people know me from different roles, right? But I felt like joining reality TV was an opportunity for me to be vulnerable. And it was right during COVID when I joined the show. So it was like, what better time? Like, the world is very vulnerable right now. I just ruptured my Achilles. So if you remember, I came on the show in an Achilles boot, literally limping on scene.
Right.
So it's like, what doesn't get any more real than that for me? And this is what I wanted to show, the good, the bad, the ugly. I didn't know it was going to be as ugly, as I now understand and have learned. But, I'm still very grateful for the opportunity. I've met some, beautiful ladies and don't get along with all of them. We have our moments, but overall, I'm just happy to be able to show my fans, a different side of me, the mother, the wife, the sister, and the friend.
Yes.
Yeah.
And the singer.
And the singer.
And the singer.
Yeah.
I Did It To Me. So we're going to pivot and talk about your music because it's here.
It is.
It is here, your baby.
It is.
And how do you feel now that it's out? And what do you mean by the title of it?
Well, the title for me is very personal, because going through a divorce is super challenging. I can't even put a word on it. It's just the most challenging thing I've ever experienced in life and very, very dark, So doing this album for me was like therapy. It was my diary. It was bringing me out of a dark place because there were times I didn't want to get out the bed. I'm like, yeah, just not feeling the day. But knowing that I had a session or I had somewhere to be and I had people counting on me, i.e. Dennis, who I'm, always grateful for this moment, because that's what motivated me during that time. So I tell anybody like going through a breakup, going through just a rough patch in life, because we all face them, like have something productive that you can pour your heart into. So that's what I did. I went in the studio and I literally poured my heart and all my emotions into this project. But the album came because, I can sit around and talk about, oh, he did this and oh, he broke my heart and I'm mad at him and all those things and finger point. But at some point it gets old and I was like, well, I allowed some of these things, I played a part.
Talk about it.
I allowed things and there were things that I could have done better. So taking accountability was what the project started to shape and become. So the song I Did It To Me is talking about like looking in the mirror and pointing out your flaws, which is so hard to do. Like it is not easy to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, this is not right with you. Because we all think in our minds like we've done everything right. So to sit here and have to analyze yourself is truly what I did in this moment. And that's where the album and the title comes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I feel like I've been talking about this a lot with different guests about just taking accountability, because it is so easy to want to just say, well, you broke my heart and you're a liar, you're a cheater and all that stuff. But it's like, but you allowed it. And there's something in there that needs to be healed that made you think that it was okay and acceptable. And it's not. It's not.
Absolutely.
So I love that.
Yeah, I was like, I need to grow after this. I can't stay stuck in this. You can only be in this space for so long.
For sure.
Eventually, I want growth. I want better. And how do you get there? It's the work that you do in those silent moments with self.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even like going through the divorce, there's always a lesson in that too.
Yeah.
It's hard to go through, but on the other side of it, you get to learn a lot of things like, okay, this is what I did wrong. This is what I accepted that I shouldn't have. And I promise on the other side, girl,
I'm not doing it no more.
No.
I'm not going to accept that no more ever again.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally.
You'll see the change. You'll see the change.
Absolutely.
I love it. So Delulu is one of my favorites. We was talking about that off camera. Go make sure you listen to the album, okay? And I feel like it really talks about what a lot of us go through and not necessarily seeing things for what it is, right? Love does that. But what was your take on it?
Definitely, recognizing that there are Delulus in my life and we will come in contact with some Delulus. And that's just like, that was the start of it. Then it was talking just about empowering yourself through that, being honest about, I just broke a soul tie, and how I just could not take it anymore. And what I had to do was put the focus back on myself, get back in my bag, and have my girls to uplift me and support me and really pouring into myself and taking care of myself. Self-care has become priority. And I think I can honestly say in my time of being married, I really lost myself. I lost my voice. I was putting everything and putting priority into someone else. And you can't.
Right.
You can't win when you do that. You have to have that balance. And so, I'm choosing me in this season.
Yeah. Can we run it back to soul ties? Because I don't think people understand that it's a real thing. And it could be hard to get out of because, baby, you be thinking you over them. And then any little thing will trigger you like,
send you back. Soul tie is where they say like for however long you're with the person, it takes like half that time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So for me, though, before I ever filed, it was like the healing was starting before that time. I was in counseling and I was recognizing things about myself. So all those tears I cried, it happened before. And so once it was official, that was where the strength came from to like finally stand for myself.
Yeah. That's a big thing right there, too, though, that I highly suggest people who are in relationships who might feel like you're not trusting your gut and go to a therapist. You will learn a whole lot about yourself. And sometimes that's what it takes for you to realize like, oh, wow, I'm not living my best life. I'm not being true to myself and I'm making someone else a priority who may not be doing that for me. Reciprocation is key, baby.
Preach it.
Girl.
Absolutely.
I love it. So what's your favorite song off the project?
Oh, my gosh, don't do that to me.
Yes.
Well, see, this is the thing. Like the whole album is a story. It's going to have you laughing, crying, falling in love, falling out of love, dancing, feeling empowered. And so it's really the journey of what I went through to get to the other side. So I can't really like pick a song apart, but I would say I did it to me only for the fact that that was like my toughest song. You know, not only to pen, but to perform and sing and record. And I just feel like it's a message in it that I needed so much. It's such a fulfilling. Every time I perform it, it's almost like spiritual for me.
Yes.
So,
did you cry in the studio?
Girl,
you take,
yes.
like, breaks? Like, wait, y'all.
I was like, I don't think I can do this today. Can we do this tomorrow? They're like, no, we pay for the studio time. You gonna sing this song. We're gonna give you a break.
Yeah.
Have some Nyack. You good now? Okay, get back in the booth. So it was a process. I would say that one in Love for a Minute, featuring my girl Torica was and Sierra.
Shout out to Torica.
Yeah.
Hey boo, so proud of you. She's been
love
writing
her.
for a while. So
Very talented.
I love that.
I love the song so much I did 2 versions. So Sierra Gates on one,
Let's
who
go.
came through with bars, and then Torica who added her lovely melodies.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you are balancing a whole lot because you have the singing, you have the show that you're doing, which can take a lot from people,
Okay.
and then trying to balance motherhood and all of that. With the show, how do you keep your peace?
Woo. Oh. Yeah. It's I think in the beginning when I first joined the show, I had no peace. It was just like it completely consumed me because it wasn't what I thought it was. And I was having to learn and deal with everything that came at me, during that time. 4 seasons in now, I have learned to have balance.
Yeah.
When I go into these moments with this girl circle, this group of friends, it's like I deal with it and then I let it go.
What did you think the show was going to be like?
I really thought it was, a group of friends who love each other, who get to know each other genuinely, who love each other. And we fight because we love each other.
Right.
Not because we're trying to tear each other down. And I think that, with all of the shakeups and the recast, I think now this season you're seeing fresh energy. You're seeing a group of girls that are getting to know each other a little bit more, because I came on with a bunch of OGs, so
Right.
it was like, hold on. But I mean, through that, I can honestly say, as much as I've fallen out with a lot of the ladies, we have made up, even ones that are not on the show anymore.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely. There's been some resolve, some apologies. And I think that's what's so great about this platform is that we are a sisterhood at the end of the day. We go through some really dark times. Like we go through really tough, disagreements and challenges, but you give it time and you see us Black women having tough conversations, crying, arguing. And at some point, we let it go and we're able to resolve.
Yeah.
And I'm proud of that.
And that is a part of a sisterhood because you're going to go through those times and it is going to get tough and you're going to say some ugly things. And I feel like we have to just learn to be more honest and vulnerable in those uncomfortable situations. Otherwise, it's not going to be resolved because it's going to happen again. And you mentioned Dennis earlier, and that's been a big thing because now you're dealing with the exes and you're still healing through yours. Have you guys officially ironed that out?
It's an ongoing conversation, because obviously when you watch the show back and you see the episodes, you're like, wait a minute. I didn't know you said that. You didn't say that to my face. You went behind my back. Okay. So, this upcoming reunion is going to be good because we're going to get to all be in the same room and be able to address a lot of those things. So I do feel like there's some unresolved, issues that we just need to button up a little bit.
Yeah.
Explain it a little bit,
Say it to my face.
Say it to my face so
Say
we
it
can
to
go
my
ahead and put
face.
it on the table. Because once it's on the table, now we can address it.
Right.
But it's been tough for me to watch back sometimes because things weren't said to me. For instance, we were in Nashville and I asked the question at the dinner table, does anybody have an issue with me? Because let's address it now. And it was giving crickets. But then, we get to beautiful Grenada, and now it's like everybody has an issue with you. Well, who?
Right, because they didn't say anything then.
Yes. So that's what I mean. Like, it's a time to hold each other accountable and really stand on business of what you said.
That part.
Or apologize.
That part.
Your choice.
What do you think your biggest misconception is on the show?
Where's this liar thing coming from? I really hate the narrative because it's just something that was created by my ex and Candy at the time, because we were in a disagreement. But I was vindicated, with the whole Candy fallout. So when people try to say, oh, she lied about kissing that girl LaToya. No, LaToya came on the show and said her piece. That's why she was there. And I was vindicated. So where's the lie? You know, they never really can explain. I think they said because I said I was Michael Jordan's cousin. I do want him to be my cousin, okay? And I'm gonna keep saying that. My mom, by the way, is on a Facebook group and has been since, you know, I was younger, but like it's a Michael Jordan family tree. And it is everybody from Chicago in there trying to definitely connect themselves to somebody so they can say they related to Michael Jordan. I mean, you wouldn't want to be.
That part.
So it was innocent, but sometimes, you know, you gotta laugh more. Laughing matters.
Absolutely.
So I say that's that. And then, what was the other thing? I think Shamia said I was lying about my song, my love languages song, because I said I speak 5 different languages when clearly I was talking about love languages. So it's just all those types of things. And I think it's, you know, not fair to carry a narrative from last season. Like, you have to let people experience, you know, each other in your own way. Like, if someone says something about you, I'm going to experience you and let that be what it is, you know?
For sure.
So that's one thing I'm like, we need to dead this, let it go, because it ain't happening.
Did you and Shamia iron out that little situation? Yeah, she was just here, and I asked her the same question about what her biggest misconception was, and she said that she's a lapdog, and she said she feels like she's loyal, and so, okay,
there is a thin line, you know, between loyalty, and being a lapdog. So, like I said, I stand on it because if you're barking at the table and you don't want to be identified, then you should never be barking, because it's given that you're definitely a puppy. So I think she proved even what I said in that moment. Oof, cringe. But yeah, it's a thin line between loyalty. I think Shamia, you know, at the end of the day was very loyal, but I think you still have to stand for yourself and stand on business and hold friends accountable. Like, I want my friends to call me out, hold my feet to the fire, because I'm not perfect. And so I feel like that's what friendship should be about. And that's why I was disappointed that Portia didn't just call me and let me know how she was feeling. And same with Shamia. I don't really think Shamia had an issue with me. I think it was just inherited by way of Portia. That's why I give Shamia a hard time. Like, girl, you know we really don't have an issue. So yeah.
But do you think in the end, all of it will, like you said, because really it is about a sisterhood, and miscommunication is a big thing, right? Because you hear certain things and people are like, oh, I didn't mean it like that. Or I learned that we don't really know how to articulate ourselves well. Just us as a society. Some people it's better off than others.
Agreed.
Do you feel like there's any situations where you were just, it was miscommunication or misheard?
Oh, all the time. I feel like I'm always misunderstood and just not heard, and vice versa. I think sometimes we listen to respond, or, you know, there's been a lot of gang up, you know, and cliques, and I think people have to have their own brain. Sometimes it appears that everyone just is operating with the same brain. I feel like girls need to make sure they're giving everyone a fair opportunity and getting to know each other for themselves.
Yeah.
You know, because when you do, you'll sometimes see, as some of them always come back and say, oh my God, Drew, I had the wrong idea about you, you know, and I'm like, well, that's why we got to give each other, you know, a chance. Yeah, and grace too. Especially when we're dealing with things. I mean, a lot of us on the show right now are dealing with, you know, divorces, oddly enough. It's kind of crazy, but I think that we have to be gentle with each other, understand we're all going through a similar situation, so we need to have grace, you know, extend it.
For sure. Yeah. And that life be life. And then sometimes you could just say, listen, this is what's happening with me. And you just get the heat from it, you know?
Yes.
Because that happens a lot.
Yeah, and it's fine. You know, we are always our best selves every day. But I think that, you know, in this friend circle, I'm just always open. The door is always open. And I'm always hoping for us to, like, come to some level ground.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I mean? Because we're all women, you know?
That part.
Yeah.
That part. Well, we see, of course, the ups and the downs. Yeah. What's a moment that you would relive or redo if you could, good or bad, on the show?
Oh, ooh, girl. You know, obviously, who would want their marriage to end? You know, I didn't marry to get divorced. So that's just a very unfortunate thing that has taken place, that I just, you know, I always wished and hoped for the best for us. My parents were married for like 60 years, like until my dad passed away. So I'm like, that's all I know.
Right.
That's what I wanted. So that's something that's just one of those like unfortunate circumstances. But everything else, I feel like that has happened on the show. Let me think about it. I feel like I don't live with regrets. I feel like everything had to happen for everything to get to where it is now.
Definitely.
And like I said, things that happened first, second, third season, I've resolved a lot of those issues with those ladies. So at this point, I'm good.
Yeah.
I feel great about the decisions. Haven't all been perfect, but with those, I grew, and I learned from my mistakes.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what's next for Drew, like as far as moving forward and healing?
Well, I still talk to Dr. Ken once a week. So
there you go.
Good counselor on speed dial. So just continuing to nurture myself and to really make sure my mental health is in a good place. Working out, promoting this album, performing, going out on tour.
Yes.
Like I am gearing up for a multi-city tour and movies coming out. My new TV show, Mind Your Business, is coming back for a third season, which is crazy. Yes, but we air June 3rd with Columbus Shore, just a phenomenal show. And then I have a movie dropping in theaters in September.
You are
I have
a busy
not
woman.
been in the theaters in a long time, so I'm super excited.
Wow.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Very busy girl. Very busy.
That's the thing. Like when you're going through something like this, it's like just pour into like work.
Yeah.
Work mode.
Into yourself for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
But those quiet moments are important too.
Yes. After I eat, I go to sleep. In that order. Like I will work very hard, but let's not at the end of the day feed me good and just leave me alone, child. Let me go to bed. And I'm happy. It's so simple. Yes.
Would you ever like expand and like do Broadway and things like that?
Absolutely. That is definitely on my list of things to accomplish in life is Broadway, EGOT, Grammy, Emmy, give me the Oscar, all of those things.
Yeah. Well, we're going to manifest that and push that out for you. Positive energy, okay?
Yes, got to speak it from my lips to God's ears.
Awesome.
All the time.
What do you want to say to your fans as far as your album, I Did It To Me, which is out now?
I'm just so excited. I just appreciate the love and support. It has been overwhelming. I was super nervous dropping this project. I think I pushed out the release date like 3 times. And so then it was like, nah, we kicking this thing out.
Yeah.
Okay, we got to go. But the response has been genuine. And I just thank the fans for rocking with me, and I just can't wait to get on tour, and just bring it to life. If anybody is out there that hasn't listened, please go stream it, download it, and tell all your family and friends. That's really what I need right now. We got to go gold. I'm like literally almost golden streams.
Wow. Look at that.
So I need my plaque, y'all.
Yeah.
I need my gold record.
Yeah, she gonna get it too because the vocals is giving what it's gotta give. Okay, it's giving what it's gotta give. Well, I wish you so much success.
Thank you.
And thank you so much for stopping by. I'll be looking forward to the movie.
Absolutely.
Right, coming to theaters.
So I gotta come back. We gotta talk about that
sure.
stuff next time. But I appreciate you for having me.
Of course.
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank y'all so much for watching WBLS.